Hey dreamers and wanderers, welcome to a new tarot reading here at Dream and Wonderland. We will have a look into the next week's energies. What is there that we can tap into for support, for guidance, for just asking energies and spirits, what can we do? What can I do? What can you do to move forward with your manifestation? And I have here the Spirit Animal Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed and the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. And I will start with the spirit animals to see who of them will accompany us throughout the next week and support us, guide us, protect us. And when I say us, I mean the entire collective here on the channel, including me and everyone who will find this video. It's a collective reading and it's a timeless reading as well. So whenever it finds you, then from that point onwards, your week will start. Okay. Which of the spirit animals? There we are. We have the Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. 18 is the moon in the tarot. Comes down to the Hermit with the 9. 1 plus 8 is 9. Okay. Bring a gentle touch. So whatever it is, make sure that you can see it, this little crown thingy here on the head of that deer might remind us that we are the queen of our universe, the queen of our world, the queen or the king, depending on what you identify with. And yeah, maybe it's a little hint as well to get yourself a little crown, a big one, a nice one, a beautiful one, just to remind yourself that you are the queen, the king of your world, of your universe, and you decide how you want to have the things, how you want your world, and create that. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that we need to know. Okay, the time has come to be gentle and diplomatic when dealing with others. You might have found yourself in a situation where negotiations are necessary in order to reach a goal. Okay, so yes, we are the king, the queen of our universe. However, sometimes to get faster what we want, we need to be a little bit more diplomatic with others. So if you are in a situation where you don't have a chance to influence anything, or where you think or where you feel that what you want or that you need the other person's goodwill to get what you want, then it might be a better tactic to give that person the feeling that the person gets what he or she wants in order to make that, to get yourself what you want. I'm not sure if that is clear. It's a little bit hard to explain, but yeah. Just an example. So for example, if you are driving with your car and a police officer, for example, stops you, and because you did something wrong or something is wrong or whatever, then it usually doesn't make really sense in that moment to discuss with that police officer, because fighting a police officer, not sure if that's a good idea. However, you could be a little bit gentle and a little bit charming and maybe a little bit, yes, thank you for the hint, I'm sorry, and things like that, to de-escalate the situation and give that police officer the feeling that he is right and you are insightful and understand and so on, so that in the end you get fast, or you can continue faster your drive. And maybe if you are nice and gentle and polite and charming, the police officer has a yeah, he may give you a lesser yeah, he might be gentle with you as well and let you go or something like that. It's hard to explain. I don't have really the words today for explaining all that, but I hope you get what I try to say. So rather than discussing and fighting someone else, de-escalate, be kind, be polite, and get that person on your side instead, so that the person in the end is helping you reaching your goal even faster. So that's just the reminder for that. So what else do we have? Be mindful of the words you choose, but do not worry. Dear Spirit reminds you that you have the ability to be sure-footed and confident while showing humility and respect for others. You will find that your capacity for calm and grounded communication is heightened at this time. Follow the way of Dear Spirit and you will do well, gaining the respect of others and finding common ground that is pleasing to you. Remember that understanding others and their needs will be more powerful at this time than putting your own first. If you do that, you will be rewarded tenfold. So that summarizes pretty much what I just tried to explain. Okay, so then let's start looking into the week ahead, and I will pull 7 cards, each for each day in the week. And there's the first one and the second one. Okay, they might be valid for that day as such, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. It also could be, they also could be related to each other and just a piece of the entire week. So maybe you could come back by the end of the week and see what came true for you. And besides of that, you can work with those energies as a reminder, as a guide, as a warning sometimes. However, just a little hint that you, in the end, are the person who decides what and how, and because you are the king, the queen of your universe, right? Okay, one more card for the last day of the week. There we are. So let's see. Monday, or the first day of your week, are the Two of Swords. Okay, so a decision, a situation where you need to decide, but don't really want to decide, or you can't see the consequences of those of this decision, because with the blindfold here, it feels like that you don't really want to make that decision, because either way it might be hurtful, whether for yourself or someone else. And that's why you don't want to make that decision, because you don't want to hurt anyone. However, sometimes decisions can't be avoided, and in the end it might be better to decide yourself rather than waiting that someone or something else decides for you, because then you can't control anything anymore. Here, if you decide yourself, then at least you can influence the outcome. Okay, then Tuesday / second day of the week, the King of Swords. Yeah, it feels almost like the continuation of the Two of Swords here, because on Monday you don't want to make that decision. On Tuesday you are ready. You put yourself into the position that you are now able to make that decision. You have the swords, you have decided, and now you are going to make that decision. And with the King of Swords, it's a very mind-driven decision. So probably you worked your day through all the facts, pro and cons, making lists, what could happen if you decide this way or the other way, worst case versus best case, things like that. So very mind-driven deciding strategies here, because the King of Swords is pretty strategic, mind-driven, could be sometimes appear a bit cold when it comes to emotions. He's not the most emotional energy here. However, he is able to make that decision. So that's what you need to come out of this energy where if you can't decide, you can't move back, forth, left, right. So you are pretty much almost stuck. And here you worked yourself through this being stuck situation and now are ready to move on with making that decision. So then we have Wednesday. Wednesday, we have the Six of Pentacles. So give and receive at the same time, because you are in a position where you can actually share your already achieved abundance. Could also be wisdom or knowledge. And it's a good balance here. You are in a position, you have created already a good foundation and some kind of abundance and things like that. And now you are just sharing that with others. And sharing means energy flows, and in the end it will come back to you as well. So that's the Six of Pentacles. Then we have the next day the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, that is almost what I felt with the Six of Pentacles as well, that maybe you are afraid of sharing what you have because you don't know if you will receive it back. So you share and share and share, and in the end you will end up like these two people here that may appear a little bit broke and homeless and hurt and everything. So there might be a fear around money, financials, losing everything if you share too much. If that's so, then be reminded that, yeah, in the end you are the creator of your reality. So when you are afraid, when you put attention onto this field of fear of losing everything, then you might have the impression that this becomes real, because that field gets all the attention, you feed it, and it becomes bigger. If you, in the contrast, focus on not these two people, but sending these people into that, whatever it is, the church or any kind of safe haven, so that they are not, really focus on that and trust that if you share, it will come back somehow. Which way, I don't know, you don't know, but that's also not your responsibility to figure out how it comes back to you, because that's what the universe is taking care of. Your task is only, your responsibility is only to focus on the wealth, the abundance, and trust that you are held and protected and comforted by the universe, spirit, God, however you want to name it. So this is really a key point here in next week. Even if that fear comes up for you, don't focus on that, but focus on the trust that it will come back, whatever it is that you're sharing here, or that there is a energy exchange in regards of money, probably. Okay, then Friday, or the 5th day of your week, we have the Three of Pentacles here. So maybe there is some kind of group project where you will be part of, something that you work on together with someone else, or it's a hint to look for help so that you can do that together. Because sometimes projects are too big for one person, and sometimes it's helpful to have support from someone else. For some of you, it might also be possible that on Friday you will have a kind of test situation, test examine, something where you get judged on your level of mastery, because the Three of Pentacles is sometimes also you are the apprentice, or not you, but one person is the apprentice who shows how much that person has learned and gets, yeah, approved or not approved by the teacher, the master, for some of you, not for all. For the most of you, I would say it feels more like a group project where you may work together with someone else to reach another level, or, yeah, a next stage. Okay, then we have the Empress here on Saturday or the 6th day of your week. And with the Empress, so there is abundance all over the place. You are receiving, you are in that feeling and field of you are held, protected. You don't need to worry about anything. So you are there. And you are about to create what you want with the fruits, the corn here, or not the corn, but whatever it is, yeast or anything. And here all these fruits on her dress, for example, she's just living in pure abundance and fruitful environment, and is about to, yeah, I mean, she's not there to do anything. She's just there to receive. And she knows that. And yeah, step into that energy and just enjoy what you have created here. Okay, and then the last one is the Magician. Nice. So it almost, or not almost, it feels like, so the card on itself, when we just look on that card, then Sunday may be a day where you just create what comes to your mind. Like, you really are the magician and you get the downloads here. You are connected to the universe. You get ideas and you are very active and are about to create. And when I look on these cards as a journey through the next week, it feels like that in the beginning of the week you are struggling with making a decision what you want to go for. Then you make that decision with very much of strategic thinking. Then you, I think with that decision, you might think about, or the decision might be around if you want to share something or not with others, and your decision. And yeah, this hesitation here to decide is because you have that fear here that if you share something that you might lose everything. And with that pro and con and best and worst case scenarios here, that might be a good strategy to work yourself through this fear here. Because if you really make it clear for you to see what are the negative consequences, what are the positive consequences? You might realize that your fear of becoming, for example, homeless is just not true, and it's just something that your head is making up, or your little, you know, that voice that you hear sometimes that wants you to not doing something because everything can go wrong. And in the end, if you do it anyways, you see, oh, you're still alive, so there was no reason to be scared of. So that is what you're working through yourself here. And then when you made that decision that you actually share, then you are really ready to step into that Empress, get help from others so that you can create something together and really take that ideas that you get here to make that come true and put into life and create your universe the way you like it, because in the end you are the one who creates and say how you want to have it. And if you use a couple of strategies, for example, being gentle to others, making them feeling that they are needed by yourself for something that in the end will help you to achieve your goal as well. So that, and below the deck we have the 9 of Pentacles, so a lot of Pentacles and a lot of Swords. Yeah, in the end you are on your way to pure abundance, dream fulfilling, goal achieving mode with the 9 of Pentacles here. So working yourself through that fear, that is key next week. And then nothing can stop you on your way to pure abundance. And that's the message for the next week. I hope it guides you. I hope it helps you to manage all those energy fields and all those fields that try to hold you back, like the 5 of Pentacles here with that fear. Yeah, I already explained what might be a better version rather than focus on that fear of becoming homeless or losing everything or freezing to death or whatever. We don't want to nurture that. We want to concentrate on abundance. So if it resonates with you, feel free to leave me a like. Feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what your fear really is, or how you work yourself through it and what you are about to create. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, and then we will see us in the next video. Bye.